I'm going to start saying general information, and then we will proceed to installment of the assembly and call to meeting the order. Before we start this morning, I would like to say that as I go through the agenda, I will allow the discussion only as it relates to the current agenda item under consideration using the microphone. Persons using the microphone must first state their first and last name. This procedure will be repeated in each item of the agenda. When the meeting is adjourned, I will open the floor for questions, so questions will be made using the microphone on the left side of the floor. In order to be fair and provide an opportunity for the most people present to access the microphone, the speaker will be limited to either one statement or one question with an option for one follow-up question. If the same speaker wishes another turn at the microphone, they must go to the end of the line. Okay, now we proceed to the installment of the assembly and call meeting to order. In accordance with Article 48 and 49 of the Rules and Regulations, the required notice was mailed to all owners of the association, the Condominios La Ventana del Mar. In accordance with Article 49, Section C, I will preside over the assembly in representation of the administrator, and I designate Mrs. Sarina Valverde as secretary of the assembly. She's here on the right side with the green shirt. Determine quorum. Being 11:19, at first call, we have not reached a quorum. We will wait for the second call in 15 minutes. The quorum should be 90%. I will require the numbers from Serena. She's making the counting. As soon as she gave it to me, we will proceed. I am thinking so we don't have the quorum, so I say that.
Buenos días. Buenos días, mi nombre es Álvaro Montaño, yo vengo en representación de Alan. Hello, my name is Álvaro Montano, and I'm coming in representation of Alan. And I will ask Roberto right now if we receive a call to extraordinary General Assembly. Is that correct? Everybody receive a call to extraordinary General Meeting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And according to the Article 48 and 49, it says that the quorum of an extraordinary meeting has to be represented by 100% of the condominiums. 100%.
Yes,
you want me to read the article, or you would like to read it? Can you read it?
No, I think so. We have to wait for the protocol to go on.
Uh-huh.
Because we have the protocols and we have to follow them. And I think so we have to go through the 3 calls, and then I allow you to do it.
Well, the article says clearly that the first, second, and third call has to be represented by the 100%. That's what the rules of the condominium, the regulation states. But if you want to go through the law, which is much better, the law says that it can be with guys that are here in the third call.
Yes.
So this meeting is going to be ruled by the law, not by the rule, not by regulations. Is that correct?
We won't go into that at this moment. There's a place in the agenda to discuss that. I think so.
What will
we
be
have
that
to
part?
go there.
Which one would be that part in the agenda? What point?
Okay.
Right now, we're in number 1, installment of the assembly.
Yes, okay. Okay. Okay, the 48 and 49 says that we have to proceed over, but we have to make the first call, the second call, and then the third call. Right now, we are making the first call.
I know that, but in the third call, because we are in the extraordinary, it has to be 100%. I just want to be clear with that. And then
yes.
Everybody has that in mind.
No.
No?
No. 100% means 100% of all the owners, because if the owners are not here and they didn't send a proxy or something, they are not represented.
No.
No, this is the rules and regulations.
And they supersede Baja California law.
don't put words in my mouth, first of all, please. No, that's not a question, that's an affirmation. Now, the second thing is this. All the documents of the HOA are recorded at the government of Baja California. And the law says that we have to have them registered, and they are binding, all of them. All of them are binding. And as long as they not oppose each other, they are legal. And we have all our documents from the HOA recorded, documented perfectly well.
Okay, that's one thing, and that's according to the law, and that's perfect, perfect. You want to speak? You give me a second. I'm not finished. So we would like to start. We need to know if we're going to go by the law or by the rules and regulations of the association.
Well, first of all, the one who rules he conducts the meeting is me. The one who is conducting the meeting is me. And I am conducting the meeting. This is going away of the protocols that we use, that we have always used. Are you making?
No, I'm just saying, so we're going by the rules and regulations or by the law? Baja law.
By all the documents. You are playing games with words. That's what you are doing.
Rules and regulations or the law?
In the HOA, the rules and regulations are the ones that are done to be followed in the HOA. The law of the Baja California is for everyone living in Baja, okay? And the HOA of La Ventana del Mar has their own rules and regs. And we have been following them forever.
As just a point of clarification, there's the HOA laws, and then there's Baja condominium law. So are you suggesting that if the HOA bylaws, rules and regulations are in conflict with Baja condominium law?
Not at all.
No,
Let's get finished.
this is in, okay, if the condominium association, law and whatever the name is in conflict with Baja condominium law, we need to know what prevails. So is it your point of view that the, association prevails, or is the ultimate prevailer Baja condominium law?
The law and what I say is this, the law, the HOA. You can laugh, but that's true. The law, the condominium rules and regs, and the registration of the HOA in the state of Baja California, all of them are binding documents, and they all have authority. I am not saying that the law is not good. I'm not saying nothing like that. They are binding documents.
That's not a discussion. The question of the lady is clear. Are we going through the law or the rules and the regulations?
We are going with both, not with one.
But we cannot do that because they are in conflict.
That will be determined in the future maybe, but not at this meeting.
By whom? Who's going to determine that? The assembly is the one that rules everything in the association. This is a civil association. And
We will discuss that when we go there.
in what point is that going to be?
You want to make noise now, that's your thing.
No, everybody wants to be clear what are going to be the rules of the game. That's it.
The rules of the games, I already stated them. We go by the Baja California law, the HOA rules and regs, and the register of the HOA in the government of Baja, which is, I will ask you, everybody knows the law, really? That can say, yes, this is it, or this is it, or the other it? I agree, everybody can read, but to interpretations and understanding, that's a different thing. We can have different opinions, we can agree to disagree.
Somebody else would like to make use of the microphone?
I think so. We should follow the protocol, go through the items in the agenda, and then we can have this discussion. Okay. The first call was owners 48, proxy 8, absentee 8, developer 384, a total of 448 persons represented. That's 53.21% of the total. Yes.
Can I make one statement?
Yes. Sí.
I understand that the developer has how many votes? 362? 384.
384.
Has the developer paid association dues for the last 2 years?
This is not in the agenda now.
Well, actually, it is. It's actually the
Sorry,
item number
sorry.
four.
Christopher,
Okay, I'll wait.
everybody, this is a meeting
I just object to the developer voting.
with respect.
Okay.
I will do what I have to do, Tony. I will not follow your direction. The people is going to decide when we go voting. Okay, the next one, may make the second call because already past half hour. Do you have any change in the numbers, Serena? No? Okay, so the second call is the same numbers. I think so if everybody agrees, we can already make the third call and give it up. All right. Assignment of clerks. At this time, we will select 2 clerks from the audience. The only requirement is that the clerk be an owner who resides at the La Ventana del Mar in order to be able to sign the necessary paperwork after the meetings. May I have 2 volunteers, please? I think so, besides the supervisors. Nobody else? Okay, we can take you both. Come to the clerk, come to Serena, please, so she takes your names over there, please. Christine and Tony Reyes. Yes.
So I just wanted to go on record that the law of Baja California says if you don't pay your dues, you don't have a vote. I just wanted to be on record.
That's, I will take that in account when it's the moment. Right now, it's not yet the moment, because that's a point to be discussed in the agenda. Okay, so we accept Mr. Chrislin and Tony Reyes as the clerks who will be responsible for signing of the documents of this meeting and counting the votes. We go to the fourth item of the meeting, which is to discuss the issue posed by the Supervised Committee regarding developer voting rights and payment of maintenance fee. Now, Tony, if you want to say something, you can do it.
Yeah, so I just wanted to go on record that Baja California state law says that anybody, if you don't, even if you're a resident, a developer, if you don't pay your HOA fees, you can't vote for 2 years. So I just want that on record.
We have, your objection is noted and will be noted in the minutes. Please provide the same written statement to Serena so she can put it in the minutes. Okay? Now, who is going to, from the supervisors, who is going to talk about this topic, to discuss the issue of the voting rights of the developer and payment of maintenance fee?
Well, I don't know that there's much to discuss about it. The supervisors, and I believe most of the owners here, are under the assumption that Baja California condominium law should rule over the internal regulations of the condominium association. I believe that we're all in agreement that everyone should pay their dues. I don't believe that anyone should have their dues waived. Baja California condominium law clearly states the administrator cannot waive dues for anyone for any reason. They have to pay. That's a violation, and that should be fraud, as far as I'm concerned. And we'll see how the courts feel about that. So I don't know. Does anyone have anything else? Does anyone object to us thinking that the developer should pay dues? The developer objects, and their attorney. Okay. And would you like to have the microphone now? Thank you. Are you Jaime's mom? Jaime Pardo?
Yes.
I just want to say it. We used to have
Thank you for the condolences.
party all the time. So
Thank you. Yes, my son did 3 years ago. There is a lot of questioning as to the developer. I'm sorry. My name is Maria del Socorro Carreras. I am representing one of the condominiums from here. It's not the attorney that is talking, it's the condominium. It is true that the law, the regulation, the law of condominium law states what you indicated as to payment of fees, no vote. However, there is no conclusion and there is no reference, nor in the law, nor in the Articles of Incorporation, the Articles of Incorporation that states the developer should be paying duties. The thing here is that developer, we would say the owner of the lots, they are not developed. He's not receiving any income from those lots. Those lots that are not, if I am wrong, please correct me. I'm open to that. As I understand, they don't create any income. Any income to the developer. It doesn't create any benefit. He only does is take care that all of the lots are available for sale or for development at any time. But the law doesn't say developer cannot vote. Developer should pay fees. There is no definition in the law as to developer, as to the owner, as to condominium, as to the owner of the vacant lots. What should be done, in my opinion, is post for an opinion to the municipality. I don't know if it will be San Felipe, I don't know if it would be Mexicali, as to the fact that to determine what the developer is, what are the rights of the developer in this case, whether or not those vacant lots should vote or not vote, and pay fees. But at this point, there is no definition in the law of any such issue. The three items saying that vacant lots, non-profitable, they are not receiving any profit from there, and they are there for sale. If he would be receiving a benefit, then he should pay fees, but he's not receiving any benefit. It's there for development and sale. Another thing I just want to make clear, in accordance to the Articles of Incorporation of the HOA, the HOAs are ruled first by their own Articles of Incorporation, in second place by the condominium law of the state, and in third place by internal regulations. All the condominium, they were set up. There's a clause that says that the person signing that condominium is obligated to abide by the articles, by the law, and by the regulations that are made a part of that document. I'm sorry, it's all I have to say, and I believe, no, wait, he was first. Um,
like to say, Mr. Butler has received, let's just say, for instance, he sold each lot for $20,000. He got 384 lots back. You said he didn't receive anything. He got $7.8 million. And now he gets the lots back to resell them. Correct? Okay, so you're saying he's not getting any benefit, but he obviously is. And then he can resell them again and make more money on it. We have not gotten the benefit of our HOA fee that he gets 15% of every year. He doesn't pay anything into it, but he takes 15% of what we pay in, and it goes into his pocket. What is that,
I think that's another item in the agenda.
Well, you brought it up, I didn't. You're the one that brought up says he's not profiting. He's profiting.
So, under that question,
Okay, so I want to read the Article 38 of Baja California state law. It's in Spanish. I'll say it in Spanish and then we translate it. So Article 38 of Baja California state law says, se suspendería a los condominios su derecho a voto, conservando siempre el derecho a voz, previa notificación, el interés para que manifieste lo que a su derecho convenga y la aprobación de la Asamblea General en los siguientes casos: por falta de pago de 2 cuotas o más por el Fondo de Mantenimiento y Administración. So it just said Baja California law will suspend the vote of any HOA condominium for not paying HOA dues for anybody for 2 years. And in Article 60 says las cuotas de administración y mantenimiento no estarán sujetas a compensación, excepciones personales ni algún otro supuesto que queda excusar su pago. So Article 60 in Baja California law says that nobody is exempt from having to pay any of the fees for the HOA. Nobody's exempt. Nobody. So where this comes into play sometimes is people return lots. There's back HOA dues due to the HOA, and they get deleted, forgiven, and it's illegal to Baja California law. So we're just trying to do our job and hold our administrator to follow Baja California law. I mean, that's it. It doesn't have anything to do with the developer. We're talking to our administrator.
So what Maria said was right, the bylaws, then the law, then the guidelines. You can't disregard the guidelines. You can't. Because it was not addressed in the law what the developer could do, the developer put it into the guidelines. And it's very clear in the guidelines about payment of dues. So payment of dues is he can either pay the dues on the lots or the shortfall of the common expenses throughout the year. We've done that. Some years we don't have to because the budget is done very well by the HOA, thank God. But when there's a shortfall, we make that up. I mean, I can't sit here and name years we've done it. I mean, I know we did it this last year, but that's the way it was. Plus, we also added that, I think, what is it, Article 79? That says there would be no dues paid on those lots. I mean, it's plain and clear. You can't disregard the guidelines. And Articles of Incorporation and the law instructed us to write the guidelines for our specific condominium. And that's what the lawyers told us to do at the time. We sat with them. We went through every article of the law, and we wrote the guidelines. And we have the revised. Yeah. 2003.
They're way out of date, so that means they're wrong. So that means local law takes precedent over your guidelines.
The guidelines can meet or exceed the law. Yes, they can. Well, we'll challenge you on that one.
Okay, sorry, but she's not correct. Everybody wants to be to live in a better place, okay? And for that, we need some money, and everybody needs to pay, because that's the law. In Mexico and the US, you need to obey the law. If the law is over, the law is number one. Second, number two, it can be the rules and regulations, but it's never rules and regulations on top of the law. She already said it. The rules and regulations were written in 2003. The Baja California condominium law has been changing, and the rules and regulations have to be upgraded. It's not because if they want or they don't want, it's the law. I want to ask you something. If we all are sitting having this conversation or this assembly in Arizona or in California, what are we going to do? Obey the law or obey the rules and regulations? That's a question. What will we do? Obey the law. So we need to obey the law, and the developer cannot vote. The law is clearly, Tony already read it. Is there any question or why do we need to interpret the law? It's clear. It has only have the right to vote those that are current on the payments. And the developer is not current. He hasn't paid in the last 2 years.
One of the ladies here went to register, they said you haven't paid your HOA, you can't vote.
And she left.
No, she's here, but she can't vote. She can't vote. Yeah, she didn't pay the golf.
So the correct thing to do today here is obey the law. That's what my suggestion to do. That's the correct thing to do right now.
Let me read some information for you. Article number 1 of the Rules and Regulations for La Ventana del Mar Civil Association. These regulations are issued in accordance with the condominium law for the state of Baja California. Slower, okay. I will read it again. Article 1 of the Rules and Regulations for La Ventana del Mar Civil Association. These regulations are issued in accordance with the condominium law for the state of Baja California. Let me read, then we discuss. Mexico, as provided forth in Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, 32, and other related articles, as well to the Articles 932 and 934 of the Civil Code of the State of Baja, Mexico, and are issued to regulate the use of the horizontal, vertical, and mixed condominium regime properties named San Felipe Beach Club, La Ventana del Mar Civil Association, located at the municipality of San Felipe in the state of Baja California. The legal documents for the creation of the HOA La Ventana del Mar Civil Association are condominium articles of incorporation for the La Ventana del Mar Civil Association. It is recorded according to the law. Condominium articles of incorporation for La Ventana del Mar Civil Association. They are recorded too, and we have the seals from the government in legal status. Let me finish. I never interrupt nobody. Let me finish. Rules and regulations for La Ventana del Mar Civil Association. Law on the property regime of condominiums of real estate for the free and sovereign state of Baja California. They are legally registered with the authorities of the state of Baja California by the formalization of the condominium property regime. Okay? Now, voting rates of San Felipe Beach Club or the developer. The investing of the ranch is a significant amount of millions of dollars. The investing on the property, just for this reason, the developer San Felipe Beach Club has the right to vote and to protect the investment to continue to develop the condominiums. All the documentation was elaborated to protect the rights. The Article 38 of the Baja California Condominium Law make reference to the obligations of the owners of the condominiums. It does not make reference to the developer in any place. It doesn't say the developer. The Article 60 of the Baja California Condominium Law make reference to the obligations of the owners to the condominiums. It does not make reference to the developer again. Conflict between Article 70 and the regulations on Article 60 of Baja California law. There is not conflict with the Article 60 of the Baja California law because this is not mentioned in the Article 60 of the developer again. Article 70 states, so long as the developer holds any lot to be developed by the developer as defined below, the developer may choose to pay the difference between the assessments charged to the other developed lots, subject to the assessments, and the actual amount of expenses of the condominium to that fiscal year. This expense paid by the developer to the amount it exceeds revenues will be charged back to the condominium with interest to be repaid at the developer in the future. This has never happened until last year. The terms lots to be developed by the developer shall refer to those lots that are property of the developer, available through direct access, promoted for sale by the developer, and subject to the payment of assessments. The obligations of the developer under this article may be paid in cash or in exchange for goods and/or services. The developer, San Felipe Beach Clubs, has always decided to fulfill his obligations has been to do in exchange for goods and/or services. This has been happening from all the years. Article 79 of the Rules and Regulations states, exempt property. The following property shall be exempt from payment of common expense, assessments, and special assessments. Section C, the undeveloped lots which are property of the developer. This is clear and loud. They are exempt of paying dues. Tony.
Okay, so the rules and regulations are fine, but they don't make the law. So have you upgraded to the rules and regulations to comply with 2017, the version of the Baja California laws? That's just a question. Have you upgraded them to comply with the Baja California law, your rules and regulations? Because the rules and regulations don't make the law. You can have rules and regulations, but the law is the law.
They have not been updated.
My question is, why do we keep rereading the things that you just got done reading when it's the rules and regulations, when it's very clear, I think, to everyone here, that the law is the law? And so why do we keep, to make us sit here and listen to those over and over and over is a violation of our time. I'd also like to point out that my wife and I pay dues, which gives us the right to vote. We have no income coming from what we own. We simply live here.
Okay, I think so. If you agree, we have discussed this enough. So we have what? To make the voting.
Do we agree that the laws of Baja are going to rule here today?
No, we are ruling. What I am saying is,
The bylaws that were written on the 2003 laws, not today's law, back years ago. Yeah, that was good.
that has to be,
The contracts are out of date. They didn't update them. It's their fault.
It has to be adjudicated. It can't be done here.
yes, I agree with what he says. Perfect. It's okay. Please.
Thank you. According to the agenda, we need to vote to see if the developer has the right to vote or not. That's what we need to vote at this moment. That's no question. But he already agreed that the rules and regulations are not upgraded. So that's clear. So the law has to prevail. So this is what we need to vote.
I make notice, and we will write down your objection about that, Christopher Lindsay. This is not to be decided at this meeting right now. No, it's because we are going to do something else. That's what Tony said. We are working on it. So I didn't say that. It was Chris and Tony who said that.
No, we have to stick to this extraordinary meeting. We have to stick to the agenda items. So
Yes.
we can't call anything else is on the agenda.
Yes. Yes, because if, like you say, we have to, you can vote if you want.
So, item 4, the Asunto 4, well, we're really not voting for anything. We're voting if we discuss it. We've already discussed it, so obviously
Yes.
we've already voted yes.
Yes.
So, I think we can all just do a vote of hands. We all agree, yes, we discussed it. No? For a vote?
Do we discuss it? No, I don't see enough hands. Please put them up. Let's.
So, the way the agenda was wrote wasn't exactly what the supervisors emailed to the administrator, or maybe they didn't get the second email, it's okay. But the agenda really isn't to vote on anything today, other than to say we discussed the fact that the developer doesn't pay dues. We discussed it, so our vote is yes. So everyone raise their hand, yes. That's what we did. There's nothing really to vote on here today. So I think we can move on to Asunto 5. You could take care of that.
Just one thing. I didn't see all the people raising their hands. As Chris say, this is just discussion. We already discussed it. We will move on. Okay. Item number 6. Oh, sorry, yeah, 5. The 5th item in the agenda is the issue of accounting documents of the association. We have provided information to the supervisors along all the years. Would you please to comment on that point?
So on this issue, we wouldn't even be here if the accounting documents that we requested were shown to us. So, and if we were allowed to make adjustments on our budget as we were told by the residents. I'll give you an example. This was my first year as a supervisor. When the budget came out, we kind of discussed it, and I said, you know, we shouldn't be paying $70,000 to one accountant. We shouldn't be paying $26,000 on another accountant based off our budget. We need to take that $70,000 off and do whatever. Well, we can't. And then I said, well, there's some expenses on something else. I'd like to see the bank statement. Oh, you're not allowed to see a bank statement. So that's the reason we're questioning it, because we requested, fine, we get a spreadsheet. Anybody can make a spreadsheet. I had a business, I used to make a bunch of spreadsheets, but we wanted to be able to look, 100% transparency will build everybody's trust here, and that's all we want. I mean, we don't want to vote nobody out, we don't want anything. We all love this place. We live here. We just like some nice roads, fixing people's lives. And the biggest problem we have is the sewage problem. So if we don't fix that, the shit's really going to hit the fan someday. I mean, literally. So, 100% transparency, we wouldn't even be here. That's it. Anybody else want to say anything? Alan?
We're looking for full accountability from a financial perspective. So everybody who's got one of these sheets here that we handed out, please hand them in at the front now. Come on up. These documents are the notification that we want to see transparency. Okay?
Please. Over here. Okay. Okay, our commentary on this is all the supervisors have always been welcome and invited since the budget creation of each year. And then each month we present the financial reports in a meeting with all the supervisors, and they are allowed. We send the reports ahead of time so they can review them, check them, and whatever questions they have, they can make them at the meeting. When we are reviewing the financials reports, they are allowed to make any question they want, and we answer. If for some reason at that moment we don't have the answer, we do it later, always.
Okay, so just in response to what you just said, I went to your office and I said, we're paying $200,000 a year out of our budget for 18 maintenance workers. Can you cut it down to 12 because we don't have the money? And your response to me said, go talk to our accountant because he's the money man. And I said, well, if I'm the supervisor and I'm requesting it, why do I got to go talk to our accountant that we're paying?
No, I didn't send you to the accountant. I sent you to the financial manager.
Well, yeah.
It's not just an accountant, a clerk in a desk. And I am not disposing nobody lower than their laws.
But
let me say this, Tony. If I don't have the answer, I don't have the specifics. How much this guy, how much that guy. But the financial manager, he has all the paperwork, and he can check it up, give it to you. You were at the office, you requested facturas, invoices, and we provided them to you.
So
you are saying, I never see nothing? Sorry, you did.
So what would be my procedure to say cut 6 of those?
Let me clarify that. It's easy as this. For example, the number of people we have, we are operating with the minimum people that we need. Why? Because if you see the reports from financing, there is not enough money. People is not paying all the money that has to be paid. Now, hold on. Now, take out of 18 people from maintenance, take 6 out. Do you know how much that is going to cost? The sewer treatment plant, $500,000 at least. Do you have the money for doing that? Now, second, there was an assessment around 8 years ago to make the sewer treatment plant. Some of you who have been here long enough know about that, and it was voted down. It was voted down by the residents in an assembly. So right now we are in a hurry to make the sewer treatment plant. And I agree, like Tony say, if we don't take care of that, we'll have a mess. That's true. But we need the money. People doesn't pay, good luck.
Whose responsibility is the sewer treatment plant?
The HOA.
Whose responsibility is it?
Sorry.
I'm asking him. Whose responsibility is
I already said and I was wrong, maybe.
the HOA is?
Yeah, the HOA.
I don't think that's right, but I wasn't here when all that stuff was done, but
Was it?
I think we're on the asunto for the accounting now, correct? That's what we're talking about, just for the accounting. So all we want as homeowners is clear accounting. I've asked for accounting before, and they give us a spreadsheet. So what we'd like to have is every bank statement for the last 5 years. We want to see every factura issued, every factura received. We want to see exactly where our money is going. The developer doesn't pay association fees, so we would like to know where all of our money is going. We have the right to, under Baja California law, to see where all of our money is going. And so that's the documents we handed in today were a formal request. We like to have that document that many homeowners made a formal request of our administrator to provide it. And I don't think there should be a problem with the administrator providing the documentation to the condominium owners. Is there? Okay. So this, just to note this is what we handed in to request from our administrator today. As a notary, can you put that in the minutes that you give buena fe to? It's in Spanish on the back side. Thank you. And how many people handed in? Every one of these notes has the condominium name signed and the condominium number. So, well, take them to the notary? Okay. We would like to request to have the notary enter these into the record, that these were actually requested today of our administrator to provide all financial accounting. These are the 40 that are signed. That was a copy for you. So they should be able to give buena fe to the owners requested to have financial accounting from our administrator. It has nothing to do with the developer. It only has to do with our administrator. Our administrator has the obligations to provide information to us. The developer has no obligations to us. Well, they've got plenty of copies. So, any other questions about our accounting documents? Can we move on and say, yes, we all agreed to discuss it?
Okay, what you say is, before we are discussing it, no problem. So I have to give our point of view too. The HOA La Ventana del Mar Civil Association, slower, has been providing month by years the financial reports to the La Ventana del Mar Supervisors Committee, participating with questions and answers about the financials present during the meetings. All these reports have been registered in minutes of the referred meeting and have been posted in the website of the HOA, so every owner can have access to them. In addition to this, accounting department make monthly reports related with the income and the expenses of the HOA to the government authorities. We are a nonprofit organization and we have to follow special directions from the government. The La Ventana del Mar Civil Association has a contract with an external audit company, which representation in 100 plus countries around the world and make their work in a professional and methodical manner. This audit is presented and published in the HOA's website once they are officially delivered to the HOA. So you all have the chance and the opportunity to read them, and they have been posted there. Okay, so we agreed that we have discussed it? Okay. So we move to the next point. The sixth item in the agenda is the issue of approval of past assemblies. You want to talk about it, Chris, or Tony, or?
On this question, the reason we have it on the ballot or on the discussion for today is we want to get a copy of all past assemblies for the last 5 years and to make sure that everyone voted had the right to vote under the law. If somebody hadn't paid dues, their votes would not count, so we'd have to undo that assembly. That's the only reason we requested to discuss it. We would like to have a copy of all the assemblies for the last 5 years. I don't believe that's available to us anywhere on the webpage in the notes. So that's all we're discussing about that.
We are assuming here, I will read this. All the past assemblies have been approved by the General Assembly each year. When we make the assembly, they are approved by the people present. And they are sent to the notary in Mexicali, who in turn registers them to the property register. So.
I understand that, but we need a copy of it to find out who did the vote. So if the developer voted 383 votes, and we believe it's not legal, we need a copy so we can challenge that in court. The notary only gives public faith to what was done here. He doesn't make a judgment call. Just because a notary stamps it doesn't make what was done legal. He just says it was done. He doesn't provide any legality to what was done.
No, yes, we agree on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You only need 2019 and 2023. It's the only time the developer has ever casted a vote for La Ventana or Las Villas. And it was only in reference to for the special assessment.
Okay. If we agree that we have discussed the point, we go on. Yes. Yeah, but we have to agree. The next point is the seventh item in the agenda is the issue to ratify or designate new members of supervisory committee. There are two owners interested in being supervisors, Mr. Ross Doe for La Ventana del Mar and Mr. Jeff Williams for Las Villas.
Are they here?
Jeff, are you here, please?
We would like to hear from him.
He is here.
Hey, Jeff.
Now he will tell about himself.
He would like to take the job of the supervisor we currently have. One of the new ones, right? For the Villas?
I'd like to speak to everybody,
Las
please. My name's Jeff Williams. I've lived on La Ventana for 14 years. Originally in a house, sold that house, and I live in a condo. I'm talking on behalf of the condos down in Las Villas area. Originally from England. Is there something I've said wrong? I thought you'd got something to say about what I just said.
No, I just said you're from England. Ellen's from England too. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, there are some decent people, you know, from England. You know, you don't all live in Rosarita. No. So, I was asked to come up here and speak because nobody knows what's going to happen with this vote. And obviously, if the supervisors were removed, they would need other supervisors. So I said on a temporary basis, I would be prepared to look at it and continue to the end of this year, but I don't want it after that. So if the vote did go against the supervisor and they were removed, then I threw my name in the hat just to cover it on a temporary basis so we'd still got supervisors for the Las Villas. My background is, as the gentleman just said, I'm from England, where I had a big business, 185 staff, and I sold that at a good profit and decided to come and live down here in Mexico because it's a damn sight cheaper than anywhere else we could live. Okay?
Sorry, ma'am. It has to be Mr. Ross talking.
Can I ask what positions they're trying to fill? Martha's position, since she passed away?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
My name is Russ Dow, and I've been here about 20 years. I own a house on the Las Ventana side, and for 18 years. And like Jeff, I'm willing to simply do this on a very temporary basis to make sure that we have a supervisor if there's some decision made today to overturn the supervisors we have. I'm a retired firefighter, division chief from South Lake Tahoe, and my wife and I came down here in 2005 and started building in 2007. So anyhow, it'd be a temporary basis just to make sure that we have representation.
So, hello, everybody. So I'm going to make a motion to replace the current supervisors, these three cabrones, and nominate Russ and Jeff to serve as supervisors until the General Assembly in November. So that's my motion. Roberto, do I have a second?
Do we have a second?
My reason is because I have over $100 million invested here. And I'm going to have
I was going to make
three.
a motion myself.
Will you shut
You
up?
took that away from me. You have no right to do that to me.
Throw her out. So I have over $100 million here. I've spent 30 years here with my wife. And we've worked like hell to build this place. And we've made big contributions to the community. We're, in general, the biggest taxpayer, biggest employer in the town. And it's simply becoming a city. And we want to remain as part of that effort. I don't need disruption in my, I've got my staff, most of my employees, managers have worked for me for over 20 years, okay? And we have 300 employees here, more or less. And so, you know, I don't need three jerks and yeah. You know something? Why don't you guys sell your places and get the hell out of here? How about that? That'd be great. I'd love it. No. Sit down, Tony. So my issue is that I'm not about to give up my position and my investment, okay, in the years that Doreen and I have worked here for three people that want to sit on top of my managers. And why don't you? I made.
And vote on it.
You need
I
to.
was first in line. You took my spot.
Don't you want to point me finger at me?
Yeah, I can, and I'll point them all at you.
Lady, you're. All right, call the police. Let's call the police. So, Roberto, do we have a second? On my motion to remove the supervisors?
Do we have a second?
He can ask for the motion to second. He can ask for a second. Do I have a second? I have a second.
We have a second over there.
I have a second in the audience.
She has a proxy.
Yes, Socorro. Socorro seconded. So we'll call for the vote. All in favor of removing these three?
Yeah, it has
you
to
gotta
be by
do it
ballot.
by paper vote.
It will be done by ballot.
The motion on the floor is to remove the three and let Russ and Jeff serve the interim term. That's the motion. Call for a vote. Vote.
Okay, so real quick, I mean, I think we all agree
Tony,
that
one at a time, please.
that he's done a great job, and whatever he spent, but if he doesn't, he can't make a motion if he doesn't pay HOA dues. That's it. They got no right by Baja law. So you can make the motion. I guess the notary, you can note that it's a legal motion and.
First of all, Robert's Rules of Orders, you can't change your motion. You have to call for a second. There was no second, so the motion is off the floor. I'm now making a motion that we keep our three supervisors. Well, first of all, that we keep our three supervisors because they're doing an excellent job representing us. And so I move that we keep them. Is there a second? I call the vote. Robert's Rules of Order.
Let's do it in the proper way. Let's fill the ballot with the vote. Oh, no se puso. Just one to two.
still have names on it. You can't change anything that's ordinary General Assembly. This is what we're voting on. So we call other ones.
What should we do there?
Next time you should read it correctly in the agenda. This is very bad.
It's not what we asked for either. We asked for a lot more. We asked for the vote on removing the administrator. We asked for a lot of stuff.
Remember that in the first letter, it was not all of it there. You sent 2 letters. The one first letter doesn't have all the rest. So we both make mistakes in our letters and papers. We agree on that. Thank you. Okay, so
The thing I would like to say is, I don't know why we can't work together. We had a meeting, and we got told that, tough, I'm the emperor, basically. I do what I want. That was basically what Doreen said to us at our meeting. It is possible for us all to work together. We don't expect Pat to pay past dues. We expect to be put on the books. When he sells a lot, he pays only 5 years of dues on it. That's $10,000 in Los Alamitos. We're not expecting him to pay today. We're not expecting to change the world. We're expecting to work together. But everyone has to have the same directions. There's no special, you're not special. You're a condominium owner now. You own 300 condominium lots. Do you? You didn't sell all the lots and get all the money back? But that's not to argue about. That's in the past. Today we're talking about what happened right now. You own lots, you have to pay. It's that simple. Well, you can follow the guidelines, that's fine, we'll do lawsuits, but there's no need to have this argument. All we're asking for is to, sorry, what? Yeah, they don't pay, they don't vote, but that's the law. They say they can vote, but it's just argumental. But what I'm trying to
As
say
we say,
is
we
it doesn't have
discuss
to be
it.
this way. It's easier to work together, but you guys don't seem to want to even meet halfway in the middle or even meet 10% in the middle.
You know, we did this 12 years ago. We spent 2.5 years with attorneys. The owners got their attorney, the HOA got their attorney. Same exact issues. Same exact. I offered you those legal opinions, so you didn't have to go get, there were ones from Baker and McKenzie, and there's another one what the owners got from another lawyer they used. They all came to the same conclusion. The interpretation is fine. That's what they did, okay? Okay, then we will check that out, because if you also notice, to change the guidelines takes some work too. Takes a lot of work. And we... Right. Right. So just let me clarify for Roberto what we're doing here. So item number 4, 2 motions were made, 2 motions were not voted on technically. Okay? So it was discussed. We've discussed ratifying and delegating new supervisors. So we'll do it just like the other one. So you're still supervisors, you know, and we'll have to work this out. And you know the only way this is going to go, because we're going to object, we're going to vote. On anything at another meeting, we're going to vote if we have to vote. To you, it's illegal, and our legal opinion is we can vote. So it's a court matter. It's a court matter. So I think we should adjourn the meeting.
So as Doreen said, right? And Chris said this earlier on. Hang on 1 minute. So as Chris has already said, right? We want to work together. So if it means working together to write the rules and agree it, bring it to this forum and have everybody review it before they come to the forum and agree to it, that's what we'll do. That's really what we're asking. Correct, supervisors? Right. Do you understand that, Pat? No. Okay, but I think it's clear.
I think so. We have gone through the agenda and we have discussed everything that has to be discussed. I think so. If everybody agrees, we adjourn the meeting. All right. Thank you to everybody for being here.